Okay, well, everybody, welcome to the weekly share of the Zera Shimshon, and it's Chav Ches Koyach Menachem Av, and just want to wish everyone a good Shabbos beforehand. And it's a very special Shabbos because it's only happens once in a couple of years. Parshat Re'eh and Rosh Chodesh Elul fall on the same day. That's a rare occasion. Okay, and I'm doing from Zera Shimshon, Kapitel Zion inside. He says, Nasain titein loy v'lo yera levavcha. You have to certainly give, double lashon, nasain, give, and give, certainly, and don't feel bad in your heart. It's pasuk says, sign. Kapitel tes vav. Pasuk Yud. Yesh ledaktik hakefel shel nasain tifel. Why does it have to repeat it for? Nasain tite. And furthermore, lama chazer loymar besitcha loy. And then it says again, when you give to him, v'hayod dai loymar nasain tite loy. So enough to say you should surely give to him. V'lo yira levavcha v'kibu glad or zeh yivorecha Hashem alekecha. Okay. And furthermore, listen, if he has a bad heart, he isn't going to want to give tzedakah to anybody, right? Don't have a bad heart when you give to him. Okay. What does it mean that because of this thing, it's coming to eliminate some other thing? So what is this all talking about? Let's clarify this with the Zera Shimshon, as he's so popular to do. He's so able to do. There are two types of obligations to give tzedakah. So each and every person is obligated to give it according to what he is capable. If a rich man is rich, he gives more. Somebody has a lot of property and money, so he's obligated, not just necessary, he's obligated by the Torah to give a lot of money. But somebody who doesn't have a lot, he's got a little, he should give a little. He's fulfilling his obligation. The Mishnah in Menachos, last Mishnah in Menachos says, there's another obligation. Let's say the giving that he has according to his properties, it's a lot. It is not going to be suffice for the needs of the poor people. The fee Shehim Merubim, because there are a lot of poor people. Or one of the aniyim needs to have a lot more money, like to make a chasna. The example is to extricate him from prison, to redeem him, or to redeem him from prison. So everybody has to give more than what's necessary to give. So the first type of giving is absolute. You have to do it. So that he doesn't become denying all the benefits that he receives from God. The second way of obligation is it's if he wants, he's willing. And that's the obligation according to what's necessary at the time, and according to what he has, and according to what the aniyim need. So according to that explanation, the obligation that is the first one, it says nasain, right? You have to give. Everybody is giving a tzedakah according to what God has endowed him with. According to the second word in the pasuk, titein loy, Loi means dafka. Lefi machsoiroi asher yechsalei. He gives according to what the person is lacking. And that's what it says in the Brat in Shulchan Aruch also. It's a Gemara in Shulchan Aruch. V'keneged zeh achiyuv hasheni omar hakasav. That according to the second chiyuv, the Torah is telling us, lo yera lavavcha v'sitcha loi. Don't feel bad about when you give to him. Eini rotza sheyera lavavcha. I don't want that you should have a bad heart about it. So feel bad about giving to this person. Kishatot tzorich litein tzorich ha'ani. If you have to give according to the necessities of the poor person. Yosef mimasha haya mutal alecha litein lefi erech mamayincha. That it's more than what you would have to give according to your physical or monetary capabilities. So because of this, God will bless you. But when you give according to what you're capable of giving monetarily, you don't have to necessarily hope for retributions, like get some benefits out of this. That's what you're obligated as a chiyuv. Tikvas pras, or to hope for some other benefits that come by giving. Because that's what you're obligated to do. It's like considered paying off a debt, because you're only the steward of the money that God has given us. But when you have to give more than what your obligations are, and according to the necessities of the poor person, then you're doing beyond what you normally can do. Then you can hope for some kind of payback. That's why it says in the pasuk, because of this matter, because of the second obligation, then God will bless you. Okay, and learning, one of the blessings we get from learning in Sefer Rabbi Shimshon Nachmani is, the Zera Shimshon, is the blessing that it says in the beginning. I will read it to you again, just in case some people might forget this, that there's a blessing from the Rabbi Shimshon, a special blessing. The Zera Shimshon promises benefits to those who study his Sefer. And the Zera Shimshon will stand by his side. A person who learns the Sefer will sit at his table surrounded by his children and family. Beautiful blessings, all given wholeheartedly to the person who studies his Sefer. A house is filled with everything good. Brachas will begin in this world and carry on into the world to come. That's the quote from Zera Shimshon. So everyone who reads this introduction and needs a Yeshua finds himself connecting to whatever aspect speaks to them and their needs. Rabbi Binyamin Pashkas explains Reb Sender focused on the promise for Parnas. So this gentleman came to him and asked about the Sefer Zera Shimshon. He says, and your eyes will see homes filled with the good of the world, wealth and honor. So Reb Sender, who you see was in need of Parnasa and grabbed onto the Sefer Zera Shimshon's words as if they were a lifesaver. Rabbi Binyamin, said Reb Sender, I have taken it upon myself to purchase the Sefer and study it every single day. And I'm hoping that I will be Zeicha to Yeshua in the area of Parnasa. Reb Sender paid Reb Binyamin Pashkas a visit 4 weeks later. 4 weeks? How's everything with you? Reb Binyamin said, oh, Baruch Hashem, something very interesting happened recently. Reb Binyamin mentioned for him to continue. Okay, for the last year and a half, Reb Sender said, I have been trying to put together a complicated business deal with a very large company. But no matter how I tried to close the deal, I found myself stymied. There was always something else. One time I was missing a certain document. Another time they told me I needed to add another clause to our contract. A third time their lawyer went on vacation. And there was another reason why they needed to postpone the closing. The deal, while beneficial for the company involved, was more beneficial for me. Okay, their incentive was not great, and consequently, they were dragging their feet. Here comes the good part. A few weeks after I started learning Zera Shimshon, I received a phone call from the managing director of the firm whom I had been chasing for a long time. I hadn't been in touch with the man for a few months, since I'd virtually given up on the deal. Yet suddenly here he was calling me. "What can I do for you?" I asked him. "I need you to come down to the office as soon as possible," he replied. Excuse me? Quite honestly, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "What did you say?" I asked. Sure, I was not making a mistake. "I want you to come down over to my office so we can finish up the deal and sign the contract." Whoa. Something had changed on their side, and suddenly they were majorly attracted to the deal and wanted nothing more than to close it that very day. I had never seen anything such as this before. I drove over to the office and we signed the contract that day. They treated me as if I were an honored partner whom they needed and wanted to do business with, and not as though I were someone who was bothering them to get involved in something they weren't really interested in. It wasn't just that I got the deal, which was great in itself. It was also the fact that they were treating me as if I were a partner, as if both sides were equal and respected. Rabbi Chaim concluded, "It was as if the sun had emerged from behind the clouds to shine upon my world. It was exactly as I said to you when I purchased the Sefer, and your eyes will see homes filled with all the good of the world, wealth and honor." The Zera Shimshon's bracha was fulfilled in its entirety, and since not only is the deal extremely lucrative for me, but it was also carried out with honor and respect, and in my eyes, that is just as important. Okay, everybody who needs a refuah shalema, should have refuah shalema. I have a list that I have in mind, and everybody needs shidduchim, should have shidduchim, and everybody that needs parnasa should be blessed beyond the Zera Shimshon's wildest beliefs. Have a good Shabbos and a good Chaydish and Parshat Re'eh, and have in mind that you should be zeicha to have all the hashpahs on Shabbos. Kol tuv sei gebencht.